This morning, this is Thursday in Australia, the 3rd of September, the internet went down for a total period of 1 hour in many places across this country. And yesterday, Google went down also across the country for a period of at least 1 hour. This is not a coincidence. This is purposeful. And I'll bet before the end of this day, and probably by tonight's news, there will be some kind of a newscast that will tell us that there was a technical problem or that the lines were congested. They will give some cockeyed view of what they want you to think happened. Well, I can tell you something. That will be an outright lie, because we know that there was not a technical glitch. There was no technical reason why the lines were down or the web was down, because we rang up by phone many places overseas and our websites were all visible overseas. That's point one. Our ISP and service provider had not been put down. They will tell you that your ISP or your provider was down with technical problems, but that will be a lie. How do we know that? We went into the Australian government and their website was up and running. We went into many different sites under the banner, the umbrella of the Australian government. They were all active and on the web at the same time that there would have been a so-called technical glitch that caused everybody to go down. They have now obviously proven that they can keep their government departments online whilst they take down the commercial sector and the private sector, and you won't know why. And they will tell you a bag of lies in the media, because the media are also partners in the syndicate of crime across the globe in the New World Order to take control over every person on the earth. The Australian government, the Weather Bureau, bom.gov.au, it will come up. Now you might think that I've only got it from my cache. Well, that's not right, because if I go into Water and Land or some of these other links, it's all coming up. Here it is. I'll go into learn about meteorology. That comes up. If I go back, if I go back to latest media release, there it is. That's come up. So we're facing a government who has deliberately taken off the internet. I don't know how far, but I've had 7 of my friends ring me this morning to tell me that they are off. So let's see what's happening, and now it is just after 8:30 on Thursday. On Thursday, as you can see, on Thursday, the 3rd of September. Now, as you can see, the Australian government is easily got on the net at the moment, and it's now 8:45 on the 3rd, Thursday the 3rd. And if I click on these other links, and you can see my cursor on the screen, if I go to any one of these other links, they're all coming up. I have never had these links before. I've never gone into these links before. So it is not because they are in the cache of my computer, and it is because, here I'll go into this one here, there you are, all of these links of whatever they are, I'm demonstrating to you that the Australian government has not been taken off the internet, but everybody that I've been speaking to this morning has been taken off the internet. Now I wonder if this will make the newspapers. I can't go into the newspapers, by the way. Let me go into another one here. Yep, there we are. This is the environment of .gov.au. That's coming up. So everything for the Australian government is on the net, whilst a lot of the private people and businesses are down.
I noticed the internet was down for an hour this morning. Do you think it was some sort of government test for some reason, so that they can shut off everyone's websites aside from their own?
Well, all I know is this, as I said before, overseas was not affected by this web closure. And here in this city and in another city, they close down section at a time. That's obviously, if they close down the whole section, well, they'd be causing too much damage, too many people would have been alerted. But to my way of thinking, they obviously had a dry run to find out if they can take out the commercial world, take out the private enterprise, but still keep on governments and keep on their own department. They've proven that they can do that. Now, to my way of thinking, if they've now done this as a dry run, we are no longer safe on the internet. That means in that hour's time that they took everybody down, that means they have now put into their system, because Google went down yesterday also for an hour, so they've put into their systems a method of tracking every password, tracking every transaction, tracking every banking transaction, and they've now got access to that, and they can store that, and they will know exactly what everybody is doing, particularly in this country anyway, and if they're doing it in other countries, that's how they are gaining control of the private enterprise and everybody on this planet.
There has been talk about the government trying to control the internet, because obviously when people are waking up to the fact that somebody's trying to take over control of everything the government does.
Look, it's the New World Order. People have got my reports on the New World Order. There's no doubt that this New World Order, which is controlled by the banking cartel, and if you go into my previous reports, you can get all this. These people wanted to take off the web as far as 3 months ago. And one of the Rockefeller family, I think his name is J. Rockefeller, has tried to introduce a bill into Congress to do something about taking off the internet. Why? Because the internet is exposing who they are. They are part of the crime syndicate. They are part of the crime syndicate across the whole of the globe that want to take total control of every person in the world, and they are behind the finances and the banking, and they own the federal banks of every country under the United Nations Treaty. And everybody knows now on the internet, Jane Burgermeister-Files had with the FBI, she's laid charges against the World Health Organization, the New World Order. She's laid charges against the United Nations, NATO. She's laid charges against them all, including the President of the United States and all of the key people. They have now got criminal charges against them because they have a planned genocide using the flu virus to take control of the country.
It's amazing that the media and all the journalists, all those investigative journalists that are out there, that none of them have cottoned onto this story. Do you think they're being paid to keep quiet, or do you think that they're just generally ignorant of the facts?
No, they're not getting paid to keep quiet. They are partners. They are partners in the New World Order crime syndicate. The crime syndicate of the New World Order either own outright or control every major news corporation, and they are told to shut their mouth and treat nothing about this. They don't want every bloke on the street to know. And it seems as if they are speeding up everything for a speedy closure of what we call our freedom today.
So basically sites like YouTube and a lot of the other websites eventually will be heavily censored.
Well, YouTube and Google are part of the CFR. They're members of the CFR. And the CFR is under the control of David Rockefeller. And the CFR members are the people who are the New World Order.
So essentially it's the end of the internet as we know it now.
Well, it seems that way, because if they've taken it down step by step, hour by hour, section by section over Australia, they have now introduced a system with which they can track down everything everybody does.
Every photograph, every song they download,
yes.
every video they watch.
Yes.
Nothing is private any longer.
And whoever's watching it, from wherever they're watching now, they know who it is and at what time of the day.
I might add that whilst these powers took down the internet when the web was closed down, people couldn't buy petrol. People
were banked up for miles in service stations because they couldn't pay at the till for their petrol. People were banked up at shops they couldn't pay. So you can imagine just how much damage they can do to the commercial sector when they can close down the internet at their will.